Hi guys, today I'm having my surgery. So to not think about that, we're going to be watching The King's Speech. So I'm going to get rid of both of them on the lower side so I won't be able to like speak and stuff for a few days. I decided to wait with watching this movie until today because I am scared and we need to think about something else. This was actually a Patreon poll winner. If you don't know, I do polls on Patreon every single month where you guys can choose 3 movies that I get to watch. The first winner was A Few Good Men. Reaction already up. Should be one of my most recent releases. The King's Speech. I actually thought that The King's Speech was going to be The King's Decision, also known as Kongens Nei, which is about our old king in Norway during World War II when he was taking a huge decision for our country. It's not that one. But if I have noticed or understood correctly, this is placed in England. This is not the same movie. I thought I was going to watch Kongens Nei or The King's Decision. The King's Choice, maybe? If you were to translate it straight over, it is The King's No. Thank you guys so much for being here. If you like my channel or like what I do, want to watch more movies and TV shows together with me, you can do so by clicking the subscribe button. Totally leave a comment down below letting me know your favorite part of the movie, the movies you want me to watch, what you thought about it, and so on. My full reaction will be over on Patreon. All my social medias, they're linked down below. Let's get on to watching The King's Speech. Okay.
I'm sure you'll be splendid. Just take your time.
That guy's taking it very seriously, at least. That is Mrs. I love Bonham Carter. She's amazing.
I have received from His Majesty the
Oh, the echo is so distracting. You can do it.
King.
Elena, hold his hand. Well, that could have went better.
Your Royal Highness relaxes your larynx, does it not? Cigarette smoking calms the nerves and gives you confidence. Be so kind as to open your hand, insert them into your mouth. A little more concentration, Your Royal Highness.
Is this supposed to work? He's gonna choke on it.
Oh, did it? Swallow the bloody things!
Thank you so much, Doctor. It's been most interesting.
Your Royal Highness.
Yeah, it has been interesting. I told you, he was going to choke on it.
Sorry, I don't have a receptionist. I like to keep things simple. Where's Mr. Johnson?
He doesn't know I'm here.
Well, that's not a very promising start.
Awfully afraid he's given up hope.
He hasn't seen me.
Awfully sure of yourself. My husband is required to speak publicly.
Perhaps he should change jobs. Well, we need to have your hubby pop by.
I don't have a hubby. We don't pop, and nor do we ever talk about our private lives. No, you must come to us.
I'm sorry, Mrs. Johnson. My game, my turf, my rules.
Understand him as well.
And what of my husband with the Duke of York? Johnson was used during the Great War, when the Navy didn't want the enemy to know he was aboard.
Am I considered the enemy?
You will be, if you remain unobliging.
Oh, yeah.
She warned me your Antipodean methods were both unorthodox and controversial. I warned her. Those are not my favorite words.
But for my method to work, I need trust and total equality. No exceptions.
Oh, well, in that case. When can you start?
Now we just need to get the Duke into this office, but he didn't want to continue on.
I had a special visitor this afternoon. Are you meeting Jean?
No, someone else.
Myrtle, it's just a woman looking to help her husband. Oh, and I had a call for an audition. Could be a lot of fun. In the amateur scene, they're a highly regarded group.
They seem like such a lovely family.
No, that's all, girls. Tomorrow.
Except the guy that is going to meet someone else. And it seems like he's dating someone already.
Pop, I tell a story.
Thought I'd be a penguin instead. This was because he'd been turned into one by a wicked witch. Because he loved to hold his princesses in his arms. Penguins have wings which are shaped like herrings.
He didn't seem very convinced.
Now, when the girls heard all the commotion, they ran to the kitchen where they gave him a good...
Oh, he's actually doing his audition and we get to watch.
Now are our brows bound with victorious...
Thank you. I think Our dramatic society is looking for someone slightly younger.
They're calling you too old for the role, Lionel.
Shut that one first. Close that.
Where did you...
Oh.
Physician.
Oh, it's not very nice to like be in such tiny elevator.
You can go in now, Mrs. Johnson. Lionel says, wait here if you wish, Mrs. Johnson, or it being a pleasant day,
Oh.
perhaps take a stroll. Was that all right, Lionel?
Marvellous, Willie. You can stay here and wait for your mum. Mrs. Johnson?
He also has the stuttering.
You like a sweetie?
Oh.
Could hardly make a sound, you know, when he first came to me. My boys make those. They're good, aren't they? Please, make yourself comfortable.
We're going to actually work on his speech. Not on a speech, you know?
Well, I believe when speaking with the prince, one waits the prince to choose the topic.
Waiting for me to commence a conversation, one can wait rather a long wait.
Do you know any jokes?
Wow. His speech seems...
Timing isn't my strong suit.
It seems more difficult when he's speaking to people he don't know.
Aren't you going to start treating me, Dr. Loeb?
Only if you're interested in being treated. What'll I call you?
Prince Albert, Frederick, Arthur, George.
How about Bertie?
He did not seem to like that.
If we were equals, I wouldn't be here. I'd be home with my wife, and no one would give a damn.
I believe sucking smoke into your lungs will kill you.
My physicians say it relaxes the throat.
They're idiots.
Yeah.
Makes it official, then.
Official idiots.
What was your earliest memory? Your first recollection?
I'm not here to discuss personal matters.
Well, why are you here, then?
Because I bloody well stammer!
You didn't know.
Bit of a temper.
One of my many faults.
When did the defect start?
I've always been this way.
But I can assure you no infant starts to speak with a stammer.
4 or 5.
That's typical. Do you hesitate when you think?
Don't be ridiculous.
How about when you talk to yourself? Everyone natters to themselves occasionally, Bertie.
Stop calling me that.
I'm not going to call you anything else.
Then we shan't speak.
That's what you want, Bertie. But Bertie, you need help. And you also need to fix your temper. Holy, what is that?
So, when you talk to yourself, do you stammer?
Of course not.
Well, that proves that your impediment isn't a permanent part of you. What do you think was the cause?
Don't know.
I think he has social anxiety.
I don't care.
You do care. That's why you're here.
I'll bet you that you can read flawlessly right here, right now. And if I win the bet, I get to ask you more questions. I'll stake you and you can pay me back next time.
Say is it next time.
Please stand and take a look at that from there.
I can't read this.
Well, then you owe me a shilling for not trying.
To be?
Not to be.
To be.
Oh.
No, can't read.
I haven't finished yet.
Hear what I'm saying.
Well, surely a prince's brain knows what its mouth's doing.
You're not well acquainted with royal princes, are you?
So if you don't hear himself, then maybe he doesn't stutter. Is that maybe a barrier where he's like scared of what he's saying is gonna come out wrong?
All right, then. I get to ask you the question.
Thank you, Doctor. I don't feel this is for me.
You're so difficult. Oh.
Thank you for your time. Bye.
Sir, the recording is free. Please keep it as a souvenir.
He's very patient, though.
Sit up, straight back, face boldly up to the bloody thing and stare it square in the eye as would any decent Englishman. Show who's in command.
Papa, I don't think I can read this.
In the past, all a king had to do was look respectable in uniform.
With your older brother shirking his duties, you're going to have to do a lot more of this.
Have a go yourself.
Wireless.
Get it out, boy.
One of the marvels of...
Modern. Just take your time.
I am enabled
Relax. Just try it.
this Christmas Day to speak to all my...
Do it!
Poor guy. It's not easy to have a stutter.
Bastard.
See, he's mad at him when it's not even there. You're going to see that he's actually right.
To be or not to be, that is the question. Or to take arms against a sea of troubles and by opposing end them. To die, to sleep, no more.
And his wife is seeing this.
Strictly business, no personal nonsense.
Yes, I thought I made that clear in our interview.
Have you got the shilling you owe me?
No, I haven't.
Didn't think so.
You tricked me.
He was quite honest what was going to happen, so I don't think it was a trick.
My husband has mechanical difficulties with his speech.
All right. You want mechanics? We need to relax your jaw muscles, strengthen your tongue by repeating tongue twisters. Simple mechanics. Oh, that's about a shilling's worth.
Forget about the blessed shilling!
Oh, poor Helena. This is how he is in public. I don't want to know how he is at home.
Shall I see you next week?
I shall see you every day. The jaw. Now loose. Take a nice deep breath.
Oh my.
Hands onto your ribs. Deeper. Good. How do you feel? Full of hot air.
Glad to visit this important...
And slowly exhale, and down comes her royal...
She's just sitting on him.
It's actually quite good fun.
Mother. Shorten the humming each time.
Manufacturing district.
Another deep breath. Loosen the shoulders.
Ding dong bell. Bertie's in the well. Who put it
What?
on the tin?
A short memory, Bertie. Come on.
Yeah, I told you not to do that.
Shout vowels at an open window can learn to deliver a speech.
She's terribly clever about these things.
Feeling a little better, sir.
No, I'm not feeling any better. I feel dreadful.
Talk, even a lovely long talk, is a poor substitute for holding tight and making drowsy. Bertie, no, it's not important. I don't want to. No. Telephone me later.
Oh, the drama. You're with your sick father. The woman can wait.
Mama says you're late for dinner.
He probably has more time with you or two other husbands than you have with your father right now.
Ours bloody clocks were half an hour fast.
Oh no, Wallace is another woman because it was Mrs. Simpson that had two husbands. Okay, so now there's another one.
David, if your father were here, tardiness would not be tolerated. None of this unpleasantness would be tolerated.
You know, sir, I appreciate that you are different from your father, both in outlook and temperament. I tried, in your interest, to present it in the most favorable light.
I have my best interests at heart.
I fear our vigil will not be of long duration.
Oh, he died.
Let us commend our brother George to the mercy of God, our Maker and Redeemer.
Yeah, I told you. Wouldn't have that much time with your dad.
Long live the king.
I hope I will make good as he has made good.
What on earth was that?
Oh, Wallace. Now I'm trapped.
As long as he lived, he was the guiding star of a great nation.
I bet it's the Scottish play.
No, it's Othello. It's always Othello.
Art thou afeard? Be not afeard.
Caliban.
For heaven's sake, that was a lucky guess.
Don't listen to Egghead.
I like this family. I find him so charming.
The clouds methought would open and show riches ready to drop upon me, that when I waked I cried to dream again.
That's such a sad thought. My next patient must be a bit early.
Oh, it's not Clifford.
Bertie, they told me not to expect you. I'm sorry about your father.
I don't wish to intrude.
Oh, not at all. Please, come in.
Been practicing an hour a day. What's going on there?
Oh,
Oh, I was...
he just started a conversation and didn't stutter. Guys!
I wasn't there for my father's death. Still makes me sad.
I can imagine so. What did your father do?
He was a brewer. At least there was free beer. Here's to memory of your father.
My father's last words were, Bertie has more guts than the rest of his brothers together. Couldn't say that to my face.
What songs do you know?
Songs?
Yes, songs.
It's funny, Vivid. I was wanted to build models. Oh, father wouldn't allow it. He collected stamps. We had to collect stamps.
You can finish that off if you sing.
I'm not going to sit here warbling.
You can with me.
I find him so charming, the doctor. Oh,
Well,
what a lovely man.
I'm not crooning, Swanee.
Oh, but you will.
Does it feel strange now that David's on the throne?
Tell the truth. It was a relief, knowing I wouldn't be king.
But unless he produces an heir, you're next in line.
You're barking up the wrong tree now, Doctor. Doctor.
Lionel, see, didn't stammer.
And of course, I didn't stammer. I was singing.
Well, as a little reward, you get to put some glue on these struts.
Your boy won't mind.
No, not at all.
How do you know that?
David and I were very close. Young bucks, you know.
Did you chase the same girls?
No.
David was always very helpful in arranging introductions.
Did David ever tease you?
Oh, yes, they all did. Bertie. Father encouraged it.
What?
I was afraid of my father, and my children are damn well going to be afraid of me.
Are you naturally right-handed?
Left. I was punished, and now I use the right.
Yes, that's very common with stammerers.
Yeah, that was the problem.
Metal splints were made, one day and night.
Must have been painful.
Straight legs now. When we were presented to my parents for the daily viewing, she'd pinch me so I'd cry and be handed back to her immediately.
I don't think he can.
He wouldn't feed me far, far away. Took my parents 3 years to notice. As you can imagine, it caused some stomach problems.
Poor guy.
What about your brother, Johnny? Were you close to him?
You've been bullied all your life, dude.
He's a sweet boy. And epilepsy. And he's different. He died at 13, hidden from view. I'm told it's not catching.
Do you want to top up?
Please.
Damn. Well, I've been abusing him. That's so sad, Bertie.
I wouldn't know.
Oh. Bertie doesn't have friends. Why does it make me?
Thick salt thistles.
Oh.
100-year-old spruces removed to improve the view. She thinks she is.
Nonetheless, we must try to be pleasant towards Mrs. Simpson.
You know, she calls me the fat Scottish cook. I'm getting plump.
Well, you seldom cook. 7. It's too strong. I should get some.
Well, it seems like his wife is his friend, though, so he has one.
Welcome to Country Shack.
I came at the invitation of the king.
All right.
Sorry we're late.
Very nice to see you, Mrs. Simpson.
What's up with the skirt? No, what is it called? It's called a kilt.
Hello, David. Making some changes to the garden, I see.
Yes, I'm not quite finished yet.
Don't tell me I behaved badly, Mr. Churchill.
On the contrary, Your Royal Highness.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that was him.
What is her hold on him?
I have no idea. Apparently she has certain skills acquired in an establishment in Shanghai.
David.
Just be a sec, darling. Excuse me.
Can't she go get it herself?
David, I've been trying to see you.
I've been terribly busy.
Doing what?
Kinging.
Not funny.
Wallace Simpson. Okay, that makes sense.
Carry on with it night as long as you show up for duty in the morning.
We intend to marry.
Excuse me.
She's filing a petition for divorce.
Divorces. Several. Because they told us that she has 2 husbands.
The church doesn't recognize divorce, and you are the head of the church.
A beloved common man may marry for love. Why not me?
If you were a common man, on what basis could you possibly claim to be king?
That's what this is about. Brushing up. Hence the elocution lessons. That's the scoop around town.
I'm trying to...
Yearning for a larger audience, are we, Bertie?
Knock him out.
What's that? I'm sorry. Younger brother trying to push older brother off the throne. Positively medieval.
Do it. Quick one. Oh!
Who have you been talking to?
Never you mind.
Poor Bertie. He's been working very hard on this.
I try to be.
You're only with him because of his title and everything he can get. You are messed up, woman.
Man.
What's going on?
Sorry. Just finish your homework. What's the matter? Why are you so upset?
My brother is infatuated with a woman who's been married twice. She's asking for a divorce, and he's determined to marry her. Wallace Simpson of Baltimore.
Won't they just carry on privately?
If only they would.
Where does this leave you?
I know my place. I will do anything in my power to keep my brother on the throne.
Is it that serious? I'm just saying you could be king. You could do it. Trying to get you to realize you needn't be governed by fear.
I've had enough of this.
What are you so afraid of?
Your poisonous words!
Why did you come to me?
I am the son of a king, the brother of a king. You're the disappointing son of a brewer, jumped up jackaroo from the outback of nobody. These sessions are over.
Bertie, you don't mean that. He's your friend. You really need to fix your temper.
Without a government.
Does the king do what he wants?
Yes, all the time.
Or does he do what the people expect him to do?
Ever. Or we only seen once.
What's the matter, love?
I'm just having trouble with the patient.
That isn't like you. Why?
He's scared, afraid of his own shadow.
Isn't that why they come to you?
This fellow could really be somebody great.
I think he could too.
I want to be great. Perhaps that's what you want.
Yeah, maybe he just wants to be common because we keep talking about other people that are.
I'm very sorry, Mr. Logue. The Duke is busy.
I'm happy to wait, or I could come back later.
As I said, the Duke is terribly busy.
It's raining that much.
Parliament will not support the marriage.
And there are other reasons for concern.
He was careless with state papers, he lacked commitment and resolve, and there are those who are worried about where he will stand when war comes with Germany.
The actor looks like the rat in Harry Potter.
The Baldwin may deny this, but Hitler's intent is crystal clear.
But now they won't show him.
Germany will come.
Yeah, that is him. That has to be.
I fear my brother is not of sound mind at this time.
Have you thought what you will call yourself? Certainly not Albert, sir. Too Germanic. What about George, after your father?
David, thank God. You look exhausted. How are you bearing up?
Bertie, the decision's been made. I'm going.
I can't accept that. You're in no condition.
I'm afraid
to
there's
make
no
that
other
decision.
way. I must marry her.
Oh.
That's a terrible thing to hear. Nobody wants that. I least of all.
At long last, I have never wanted to withhold anything. This I do with all my heart. But you must believe me when I tell you that I have found it impossible to carry the heavy burden of responsibility and to discharge my duties as king. And I want you to know, this decision has been made less difficult to me by the sure knowledge that my brother, with his long training in the public affairs of this country, will be able to take my place forthwith.
Oh, boy. Bertie, you need a doctor in your life again.
I meet you today in circumstances which are...
When he gets reminded of his own family, starts to struggle a lot. So at this point, I feel like he's traumatized over how they've treated him and basically abused him and bullied.
We'll get your food back in a minute.
Yes?
Will we have space for our horses in our new home?
Of course we will, darling. We'll have a palace of rooms.
Oh. It's your dad. Hi, give him a hug.
David's finances. Christmas broadcast. Think that would be a mistake?
No, don't worry about that.
Plans for the coronation. Think that would be an even bigger mistake. I'm a naval officer. I'm not a king. I'm not a king.
That is so sad.
My dear man. You know, I refused your first 2 marriage proposals, not because I didn't love you, but because I couldn't bear the idea of a royal life. Well, a life that no longer was really to be my own. But then I thought, he stammers so beautifully, so leave us alone.
Waiting for a king to apologize, one can wait rather a long wait.
I'm afraid we're slightly late.
I feel like they're always late.
Battles at bridge. I made sure the boys were out.
It's lovely. May I sit down?
Yes, of course. Would you like some tea, ma'am?
Yes, I'll help myself. Now off you go, or must I knock your heads together?
I love her. Oh, love her so much.
I understand what you were trying to say.
I went about it the wrong way. I'm sorry.
So, here I am. Is the nation ready for 2 minutes of radio silence? God save our king. Don't mean me. Every monarch in history has succeeded someone who was dead or just about to be. And even give them a Christmas speech.
Like your dad used to do.
Precisely.
He's not here anymore.
On that shilling I gave you.
Easy enough to give away. You don't need to be afraid of the things you were afraid of when you were 5.
The doctor.
You're very much your own man, Bertie.
Yeah, you are.
Your face is next, mate.
What is it?
It's Your Majesty the first time. After that, it's ma'am, as in ham. I'm told your husband calls my husband Bertie.
Your Majesty, you may call me Mrs. Logue, ma'am.
Very nice to meet you, Mrs. Logue.
Look, we can't stay here all day.
Yes, we can.
Yeah.
I believe you two have met, but I don't think you know King George VI.
It was very nice to meet you.
Will their Majesties be staying to dinner?
We'd love to. Such a treat, but alas, previous engagement.
Wow.
Welcome, Your Majesty.
That was such a nice church.
We begin, of course, at the west door into the nave.
I see all your pronouncements are to be broadcast, Archbishop.
The product of which I shall personally edit.
Dr. Logue will be attending the coronation.
Well, of course, I'll speak to the Dean, but it will be extremely difficult.
Doctor to be seated in the King's box.
But members of your family will be seated there.
His family.
That is suitable.
Oh my god!
Westminster Abbey. The church must prepare His Majesty.
My preparations are equally as important, with complete privacy.
Do you want radio silence or do you want an actual good coronation?
I will place the abbey at your majesty's disposal.
Good.
I'm not here to rehearse, Dr. Logue. Call yourself doctor. I did that for you. No training, no diploma, no qualifications. A great deal of nerve.
My son Laurie said, Dad, do you think you could help that poor man?
What, as a failed actor?
When the Great War came, all our soldiers were returning to Australia from the front. A lot of them shell-shocked, unable to speak. Do you think you could possibly help these poor buggers?
He did that.
Give a very noble account of yourself. You have no idea who I have breathing down my neck, and you have no credentials.
But lots of success. Everything I know from experience, and that war was some experience.
Damn right. All in all, things are just a piece of paper. Who cares? Experience is more important than some piece of paper.
Lock me in the tower.
I would, if I could.
On what charge?
Fraud. With war looming, you've saddled this nation with a voiceless king. You've destroyed the happiness of my family.
Oh, Bertie, now you're back to blaming everyone else but the people that actually deserve to be blamed.
King George III, the mad King George the Stammerer.
Let him help you.
Get up. You can't sit there. Get up.
Why not? It's a chair.
No, that is not a chair. That is St. Edward's chair.
People have carved their names on it.
Chair.
He'll make a bloody good king.
But you have just been advised.
And now I advise you. In this personal matter, I will make my own decision. I appreciate that, Archbishop.
But he needs trust.
Ahead.
Yeah, that too.
Your humble servant.
Thank you, Bertie.
Okay, you guys are a little bit cute though.
Sir, is your majesty willing to take... And that's all you say. 4 short responses. Kiss the book and sign the oath, and you're king. Easy.
Oh, here we go. Oh, not yet.
Someone had removed the thread marking the back of the crown, sir.
Try not to lose the thread, Archbishop.
Well, I hope your majesties are thrilled with the result.
What's he say?
I don't know, but he seems to be saying it rather well.
Oh my god, that made me laugh.
I have found it impossible to believe that there is any man in the world so lacking in moral feeling as Hitler, that the world may be hurled for a second time into the abyss of destructive war.
Yeah, because it hadn't happened yet. They were just waiting for it to start.
I'm only very sorry to leave you at this great time of crisis. I'm very much afraid, sir, that your greatest test is yet to come.
This morning, the British ambassador in Berlin stating that unless we heard from them by 11 o'clock, that they were prepared at once to withdraw their troops from Poland.
Yeah.
I have to tell you now that no such undertaking has been received, and that consequently this country is at war with Germany.
You are on air at 6.
Oh.
There's the barrage balloons. Yes.
Yeah. Now it's starting. The world is falling apart.
Turn the hesitations into pauses and say to yourself, God save the king.
I say that continuously. Apparently no one's listening. The nation believes that when I speak for them. Yeah, but I can't speak. This message, doodah, spoken with the same depth of feeling, doodah, Dave.
I have a right to...
Attitude you can't.
Have a look at the last paragraph.
Bertie, it's time.
Oh. Oh, it's time.
I hope we have no more interruptions from those damned sirens.
Oh, the wretched dogs. Congratulations, First Lord of the Admiralty.
Your Majesty.
The long walk.
Yeah.
Apparatus.
Oh, the dog. Did you see it?
How long, Logue?
Just under 3 minutes.
I'm a thistles. I'm a sieve of sifted thistles, a sieve of unsifted thistles.
Darling.
Remember, the red light will blink 4 times, and I've asked them to turn it off.
She's been there all along.
Forget everything else and just say it to me. Say it to me as a friend.
In this grave hour, perhaps the most fateful in our history, I send this message. Spoken with the same depth of feeling, each one of you, as if I were able to cross your threshold and speak to you myself.
Yeah, that was better.
But it has been in vain. We have been forced into
a conflict.
which, if it were to prevail, would be fatal to any civilized order.
There we go.
Principle, stripped of all disguise, is surely the mere primitive doctrine that might is right.
For the sake of all
And then we have these guys.
my people at home across the seas who will make our cause their own, I ask them
To stand calm and firm and united.
in this time of trial.
If one and all we keep resolutely faithful to it, then, with God's help, we shall prevail.
He did that! He did that!
It's very good, Bertie.
Yes, Bertie, that was very good.
You still stammered on the W.
I had to throw in a few, so they knew it was me.
Congratulations, Your Majesty. A true broadcaster.
Oh my god, this is so nice.
Perfect.
Your first wartime.
Yeah, because now they believe that he was actually sitting there.
Expect I shall have to do a great deal more. Thank you, Logue. Well done, my friend.
Thank you, Your Majesty.
I love them.
Thank you, Lionel.
For everything.
So how was Papa, Elizabeth? We all ready?
What? I didn't even know that he had problems with his actual speech. For the rest of their lives, guys! This was absolutely wonderful. Wow. I have learned so much from watching this. I didn't even know that he had difficulty with the speech. And about Lionel helping him. That wasn't even an actual doctor. That is insane. Thank you so much for voting for it. That's it for today's video, guys. I hope you have enjoyed watching it together with me. And if you guys didn't know the story, or if you haven't seen the movie, if you guys didn't know anything about this, I hope you have been learning something as well, because damn, this taught me a lot. It has been difficult in the beginning because I felt like they maybe showed the king to be much more aggressive and having difficulties with his temper and not being very kind to people. And I was like, is that how it actually was? The thing is, it makes sense that see how people have been treated their entire life gives consequences how people end up living their lives. But him having not only Lionel, but him having a wife, his family is helping out. I think that his wife has been such a great addition and such a helping hand in his journey as well. So I just wanted to point that out. And Lionel, goodness gracious, he had such a wonderful family. I love seeing how his family dynamics was when they were at home. I had so much fun with this movie. I learned a lot. It was very interesting. And I'm very happy that I watched it. My full reaction will be over on Patreon. That is also where you can be part of the polls coming out in the future, where you can be part of voting for 3 movies that I will be watching in the span of a month. So totally do that. Thank you so much for being here. All my social media are linked down below. Yeah, that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope to see you in my next video very, very soon. Bye, everyone.
Put your head on my